So the first question I was going to ask you is like, how do you find happiness in a business like yours? Like, how do you find happiness in business?
Mm. There's like so many different layers to that question. I think there's the layer of happiness in actually doing the work, and then there's a layer that's happiness that comes from the moment that your work is the fruits of your labors are received and hearing feedback. And then there's happiness that come from fulfilling like what it's very important for me to be involved in anything that helps me realize my divine potential, that I'm actually like moving forward in that. So that's like a very like deep and meaningful happiness. So I mean, I can talk about all three of those, but the first one is I think just I thrive in a place where I'm unlocked, where I can like unleash my creativity. I thrive when you give me a challenge and say this has never been done before. I love this idea of, you know, okay, let's start a churro business. Never done that before. Okay, let's start an all-you-can-fly membership airline. Never done that before. Let's try and create a Let's make a nursing home someplace that actually is a positive experience for people. That type of challenge is just like I'm like so determined to tackle that. And I love that sort of thing. So whenever that creative, this has never been done before, or you can't do that, or here's a blank whiteboard, how are we going to start an airline? Like we're starting an airline today. What are we going to do? That literally was the conversation in January of what was that, 2012? Gosh, a while
Wow.
ago. So, or let's start a churro business. Well, no one's ever done that before. And so let's figure that out and let's create an experience that's actually anyone can sling churros, anyone can make churros, but we want to create an experience. We want to create an interaction and
Mhm.
something that's actually special and memorable. And so I love that. I love that. And that brings me a lot of happiness. On and really like and like unlocking all of that in our team, like bringing a team together and harnessing them, or having them harness their skills to create something that we can all get behind and that we can all buy into, and something that's bigger and than all of us individually, something that can make a lasting important impact in the world. And so that brings me to the next one, which is like the happiness that comes from. I was telling someone this just the other day. Um, I had no idea how. There's two things. I had no idea how happy I would be giving someone churros that we made. Like it literally, like just the other day, we met the Six Sisters. They're this
Oh,
that, do you know them? They're
yeah.
they're like so amazing and they're hilarious. And we were laughing so hard. I met them for the first time at the Pinners conference, and one of them like said, I brought them a couple of fresh 6 packs of of our filled churros to eat, and they
Uh-huh.
like lost their minds. And one of them that was pregnant, she's like, "Oh my gosh, my baby just kicked inside." She was so happy, and it like made me laugh so hard. I'm like, I've been in this business for 6 years, and no one's ever said that to me that their baby was so excited for you to eat the churros because they're gonna. I mean, anyway, it
Yeah.
was amazing. And recently I was with Sandy Elbow Churros, we were part of Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Really terrific, like 12-week boot camp, really to create a growth plan for your business. And one of them was what we're doing now, the Churro Fiesta in a Box, or that was our growth plan. So, as a thank you to Goldman Sachs, there was a summit that we had a couple months ago in Washington, D.C., and they had all these like A-lister speakers, amazing. So like Michael Bloomberg, Gwyneth Paltrow,
Oh, cool.
Marco Rubio, George W. Bush. I mean, it's just like insane, like high level of speakers that were there. And I thought, well, I want to give our churro fiesta in a box to some of these, to the speakers as a thank you,
Yeah.
because it was Goldman Sachs 10,000 small businesses like that brought this about. And so I gave them to the organizers, and I didn't really think anything of it, praying that, like Ryan Reynolds or Gwyneth Paltrow would like make our churros, even though we were on Gwyneth's Goop. But so 5 days later, I get home, 5 days later, an email pops up. Thank you from President Bush. And I was
whoa.
and his chief of staff wrote me in just a short email. He's like, hey, Scott, I just got finished having dinner and dessert with President and Laura Bush, and we just made your churros, and they wanted me to pass along their thanks and how delicious they were. And it's still like, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
But the visual of President Bush and Laura, like, hey, Laura, let's make churros. And they're like literally like making churros in their kitchen. So I wrote him back and I'm like, Freddie, please tell me you took pictures. And I want to know, did President and Laura Bush actually make the churros themselves? Anyway, so I haven't heard back from him, but like that's fun. That's like happiness, when we always say we want to capture those real life moments when people have the first bite of our churro and they're like, and their eyes light up, or they roll back in their head, or they close their eyes, they get weak in the knees, whatever it is, like that first reaction, that's so fun. It's like all of your hard work is like encapsulated in this moment of joy for someone. I just got off the phone with one of my team members, and actually two of my team members, Brad and Camille. His wife, Camille, Brad's wife, Camille, did our scheduling for our team like 4 or 5 years ago. Brad was one of our first food truck managers, and now he just graduated from law school, and he just passed the bar in Nebraska.
Oh, cool.
And so I just caught up with both of them over FaceTime the other night, and it was so, that was like amazing. He said that, as interesting as it may sound, he's like, I think I may have gotten the job because I worked for a churro business in his law firm. He said that, like, that's all they wanted to talk about in his interview. They're like, wait a second, you worked in undergrad, like while you were going to school for a churro business. I want to know everything, And so, and now he's known as like the churro man within the law firm. And he said that, at that early stage, we still are scrappy, but we were really scrappy, and we were like pulling together resources from everywhere and depending on people that we trust to be a great ambassador of our brand, to create these moments of joy and happiness. And he was that. And so was Camille. Camille like got everyone together. And so they were like this dynamic duo that really helped us grow and establish this foundation for where we are now. And so it was wonderful. That's another source of happiness is this idea of like helping your team flourish, helping provide opportunities for people at any stage in their life to continue to develop and grow and to be better humans. And so that's really a huge source of happiness for me too.
Wow.